any sense among the smart people out there, and the smart people have been wrong about Trump from the very beginning, that this weekend will give people pause, that people will see these pictures, even Trump supporters, because a lot of Trump supporters would have to back away from him for the numbers in these states to change, because he's leading in this crowded field. Any sense that will give people enough pause to say, can't do this?
Probably not. I mean, you heard Marco Rubio there sort of have his own doubts about whether or not he would support Trump if he were the eventual nominee. He said, you know, it's getting harder and harder, but sure, I would. So I doubt it, because Donald Trump is essentially, as you said, he's casting himself as the victim against, you know, what might be called some sort of counterculture uprising. There was a person at a Kasich rally who stood up and asked Kasich, he said, listen, why are you taking the side of the Black Lives Matter movement and move.org over Donald Trump's free speech, free speech rights? So I think it's clear that even these candidates have to have a sort of a tricky line, because in our debate, for instance, all of this had happened in terms of Donald Trump saying very off-color things at his rallies, but none of them in that moment actually felt like they could stand up, because they know that Trump is at this moment really the face of a very powerful movement which represents 35, maybe 40% of the party, and these are working class white people, and some of the rhetoric, I think, is in line with the Southern strategy that Republicans have used for years. So it's very tricky, but not clear that this is going to turn the tide for Tuesday.
And there's lots of delayed outrage, shall we say. You know, his opponents find it convenient to express their outrage when it most benefits their campaigns, or when it could most benefit their campaigns.
Not a lot of courage early on.
No, and you played that montage of clips about things that he said.
There's a lot more than that.
And there's much more than that.
He's been doing this.
Where was the contemporaneous outrage from the candidates when he said those things to his audience? You know, I want to punch that guy in the face. You know, oh, there's Trump, you know, but there was no real anger. Now that we're on the precipice of Florida and Ohio and 3 other states on Tuesday, and some of these candidates are fighting for their lives, and they see civil disorder in Chicago and a sort of, oh my gosh, moment, then they're outraged.
Right.
Yeah.
It just shows that so much of the Stop Trump movement has happened too late.
Yeah.
This outrage could have happened months ago.
And it's tactical outrage.
Yeah, it's tactical outrage.
Right.
I do think there is a feeling, though, that something changed in Chicago. That when that rally was called off, there was a tipping point. There was a feeling that this had reached a certain point, right? That up until now it was sort of all fun and games, and obviously it wasn't. People actually were getting hurt. It being all fun and games until people get hurt. But you know, there's a feeling that this has now reached a sort of fever pitch that is unstable and dangerous and scary.